Let's talk about a few notable calls we're tracking this morning. Nike is getting hit in the market after a disappointing sales outlook. Several analysts moved from buy equivalent ratings to neutral. Raymond James, for example, cut the stock to a market perform from outperform, saying the revenue miss is indicative of the difficulty Nike is having in driving a turnaround in global demand. Stifel also downgrading the shares to a hold from a buy, adding the company's full-year outlook pushes some of the growth prospects they were hoping to further down the road. UBS's analyst team also joins the so-called hold camp, saying the results indicate fundamentals at Nike are worse than realized and that there will be no quick rebound for Nike's earnings. There's a number of other brands out there, Hoka and others, that have been stealing some market share away from Nike, so we'll be watching that closely. Well, I know we get worried about the economy, but when a few NHL teams from Canada can make the playoffs, it definitely provides a boost, at least according to Stats Canada. NHL playoffs helped to improve the Canadian economic story in April. The agency is saying that spectator sports contributed the most growth to the entertainment sector overall, thanks to those four teams that qualified for the playoffs. In other sports news, it is a good time to be a soccer fan. The Euro Cup in Germany and Copa America in the U.S. attracting plenty of attention, including here at home. It's also an opportunity for brands. So let's bring in our marketing expert, John Yorke, CEO of Reign, for some more. Always skewing things back to sports. But it is exciting right now. And I guess for brands to find things that are exciting and maybe less controversial,
right,
there's a huge opportunity.
Well, we're just following up from last week, right? Like before, we were going into Game 6, and we didn't know whether or not the NHL would get the Game 7 that they much desired, and it was a huge success for them. Ended up having the largest U.S. audience that did not include an original six team. So they had over 7 million Americans watch, another 9 million Canadians watch, bringing up, so for the NHL, 16.3 million viewership, which led into Hockey Week. They had their awards last night. They have the NHL draft tonight. So hockey got a pretty big boost, and you know, it's one of the fastest growing sports in North America, and specifically in the U.S., flat in Canada. But good opportunities for them. So the brands that sponsored a lot of hockey got a lot of money value right to the end.
All right, so let's shift from the rink to the pitch, because everybody's talking soccer too these days. But I guess in terms of the marketing opportunity, are there any distinguishing factors between the two?
Well, the first in Canada, because Canada's got a major game tomorrow. If they beat Chile or tie Chile, they move on in the Copa America Cup. So it looks like there's a missed opportunity there. I know Visa and BMO, there's a lot of other sponsors of the Canadian national team, but there's the controversy. I know a couple of years ago about trying to figure out who was getting paid, and women versus men, and Team Canada's kind of dropped the ball on sponsorship. So you're not seeing a lot of sponsorship with Team Canada. If they win tomorrow or get through, I think there's a huge an opportunity there for the men's brand to rebound. And you know, they didn't get a goal in the World Cup, so it was or didn't get a point in the World Cup. So it's a chance for them to rebound on the global stage and move up their rankings and get their brand worth it. But the biggest battle of brands is happening in Europe between Adidas and Nike.
What's going on there?
Yeah, so Nike, for the first time, 70 years, Adidas has created the kit for the German national team, and that loyalty only went so far. They had a bit of a controversy back in April. They created a jersey that some people said, when you use the numbers 4, looked a little too much like SS. So obviously they had a little bit of a falling out there, but more importantly, Nike outbid Adidas by but they bid 105 million pounds to sponsor the German team, which is twice as much of any other team that gets sponsored, including Argentina, who's the first ranked team in the world, England, which is the third. So, you know, for Nike to step in, they really just bought out Adidas market share and kind of bullied them. And so Adidas was having a hard time throughout the beginning of this year. But their marketing and advertising for the Euro has been fabulous. If you know, they've embraced the Beatles with a "Hey Jude" ad. They've really, I think, been able to. You know, this is the visuals of the "Hey Jude" ad. They've really been able to inspire, I think, UK football and done an incredible job. So I think it's interesting when you see these battles between Nike and Adidas, it really is a superstar power. It's who has the top players in each ad, but I really like what Adidas is doing as a response.
And just out of curiosity, when you become the marketing supporter, I assume you have to be ready to, have the support on the gear itself, on the clothing itself, but you have to be ready for massive commercial campaigns and that kind of stuff too.
Absolutely, and the investment. Like there's a separate investment for the Euro Cup versus the World Cup. So Adidas is still a major sponsor of the World Cup, but Nike's taken over the Euro Cup for the advertising. So you get two sides. One is you're talking about tens of millions of pounds just to be part of sponsor of the event, and then what you have to put behind it on TV. And you saw with Nike's earnings, they're obviously trying to get to a younger audience and a new soccer audience that's emerging in Europe and not doing a great job of it. Adidas, who's spending less of their money, now have just turned, and instead of backing away, I think that some of the commercials and some of the efforts that Adidas has done has been very impressive to sort of fight back.
I mean, is this one of the most talked about marketing rivalries in the world, would you say?
I think right now, it was a little bit of a rabbit hole for me, to be honest with you. I sat there with my 17-year-old son, who's a huge soccer fan, and he every time we watched a commercial, there was all these little cameos that I wouldn't pick up on, that he picked up on. But it was better than, as good as the Coke Pepsi, clever, funny. Deep down, they're fighting for 17-year-old soccer players right now, like who's going to be there to sponsor. I would say to look in the next year, it's going to be the greatest advertising rivalry to watch.
All right.